Hey, what's up, guys? Sean here with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Okay, we got some stuff that we're going to put to bed that needed to be done because we have a lot of people that have roll hunted the you know what out of pennies for years, and everybody always seems to dread receiving. Ugh, you can probably see how shiny all of these are through these holes. Receiving the dreaded full bank box of new Lincoln cents, right? Because everybody wants to go through the circulated stuff to find varieties, errors, and all that great stuff. Yes, I know that is still a thing even today in 2025. Now, I'm happy to say that this brick that everybody has loathed for the longest time now might finally be worth its weight in gold. Maybe not literal gold, but $25 face value in this right here. Now all of a sudden worth a whole lot more than that. And guess what? Your banks have these all over the place. Now, I had ordered a few boxes. Actually, my wife had ordered a few boxes at our credit union, out of all places. And we ended up getting 4 boxes, $100 face value. And what's in here, 2023D Lincoln Shield cents. And I'm here to say it really does not matter one bit if whether they're Philadelphia or Denver minted coins. People are treating these like what we call sealed equity. And even more so today. I mean, unless you were living kind of like under a rock, you know that our president had, made an executive order Super Bowl night to stop production of Lincoln cents, which at the time scared a lot of people senseless to the point where it's like, oh my God, the Lincoln cent's going away. The prophecy is finally holding true. And, the conversation has always been there for the Lincoln cent to be discontinued and to go the way of the dinosaur because it just costs way too much to produce. I think the last number I heard was 3.7 cents per one coin to produce. It doesn't really seem all that efficient. As a matter of fact, it's not even close when you're kind of pissing away almost 4 times your money to produce these things right here that a lot of people really could care two shits about. But, and that's kind of the big reason why that a lot of people are now flocking to their banks to try and obtain full boxes of coin. And you can kind of make the argument that there's some sort of value. It doesn't matter what kind of box you receive. Whether it's one with a lot of mixed circulated coins or one like this, where it is a truly thick, just full 100 rolls of 2023 Denver coins. We're going to talk a little bit about how much these things are selling for here today to help illustrate a point. Should you hold on to these now that they're finally getting some sort of, due out there in the marketplace? So I'm here to say yes. Full boxes, as of right now, hard to find for under $100. And the last time I checked, there's $25 in here. So there's going to be some people, the non-believers, they're automatically going to say, why would I spend $100 on $25? It's more the collectible aspect of it. Because if we think about it, if the Lincoln cent did go away, the Trump administration was actually successful in putting out there this discontinuation for good, we're talking about the elimination of the most widely collected coin across the globe. We're not just here in the United States, but across the globe. We produce more 1 cent denomination coins in our country than any other country by far. And that's the thing. That's the crazy part about this whole saga, is that we're eliminating a coin, a denomination that's been around for a long time. If we're talking about just the Lincoln cent since 1909. But the Mint had produced 1 cent denomination coins for 233 years. So we're essentially getting rid of the one coin that's easiest to hunt for. It's a great coin for beginners. And because of all of these things, like, I've talked to people, who were kids in the 50s and 60s. And this was the one coin that they started collecting. They would buy the album at the local convenience store, and then they would start filling those things up. The Lincoln cent, ladies and gentlemen, is the kind of like the status symbol of early coin collecting. Even that holds true today here in 2025. When new collectors come in, guess what they gravitate towards? They don't gravitate towards quarters. Sometimes quarters because of the neat designs they do, American Women, American the Beautiful, whatever. It's Lincoln cents because it's cheap. It's 1 cent in face value. You could go through a lot of them in one batch and not really be invested a lot into it. This is $25 here. And you could have a lot of fun with this, with your loved ones, with your kids. So this is purely two things. It's a nostalgia play and it's a FOMO play. Nostalgia being that, we've grown up collecting the Lincoln cents. FOMO is the announcement from a couple weeks ago that Lincoln cent production has ceased. And it could be permanent. Really don't know. Haven't heard a thing about it since then. So right now, there is a mad dash to grab as many of these boxes. People are buying these left and right on the secondary market. There's a lot of people that don't have the access to buy these. For whatever reason, maybe their bank just doesn't hold on to these because, they get charged. They get charged for ordering these sometimes, depending on what armored car company they use or, whoever does the distribution of these coins. Sometimes they'll have to pay a fee to have some of these. And what they'll do is they'll only order one box to get them through the week. And that holds true for a lot of banks that really don't participate in merchant services, that cater to local businesses, things like that. All right. So 2023D doesn't seem like a very sexy date on its face. 2.2 billion of this particular date and mint mark were produced in 2023, which is a pretty hefty number. So you would think that there would be just oodles of these around there, but that couldn't be further from the truth because there's a word that we like to call attrition, right? That's where things get used up and through wear and tear, they eventually break down, they get lost, they get destroyed, things like that. So maybe at one point it was 2.2 billion, maybe it might be down to 2.1 billion. So right off the top, just through attrition, we probably had lost already 100 million coins in the system. And that's just kind of like common knowledge, the same way with paper money. Paper money is the worst because its stuff doesn't really last no more, I think, than 18 to 24 months as far as the standard life cycle of a traditional, bill, whether it's a $1 bill, $5 bill, what have you. They're just not made for longevity. Okay, the same can be said with our coins. Coins, can be used and abused, lost forever, things like that. So when it comes to these, and you end up receiving one of these, don't be so quick to get rid of them, taking them back to your bank. And the last thing that you want to do, especially, is the bank that you order your boxed and rolled coin at, do not take it back to the same bank. That's bad. It's not cool, and you could tell you could ask any bank teller about this practice, and they'll tell you, yeah, it's not in good faith to do such a thing. You really want to designate kind of like a dump bank to return these to. So a completely different bank, not related to your favorite bank or your main bank. But with these things, now that we can determine that there's a lot of news happening with the Lincoln cent, we can monetize off of these. And there's going to be a couple different ways that you could do that. You could sell these by the roll. You could sell them by uh, quantity of rolls. You know, you could do like 5 rolls at a time, 10 rolls at a time. Or if you just want the quick, easy money, you could sell the whole box in its entirety. So I brought up a few listings that have sold here within the last couple, 2 or 3 days of various bank boxes. We're going to cover 2023 and 2024, seeing as how that those two particular dates are still in excess to some folks. I've even heard people grabbing 2020, 21, and 22 boxes at the banks. That is also an opportunity. It's more than just what you can find in these days. This is more of just like storing these because of the FOMO, because of, the nostalgia and all that stuff. But you got to keep in mind that this is not your traditional like copper pennies like we used to know them back from 1982 and earlier. These are copper plated zinc coins. So with that being said, you probably don't want to hold on to these if you don't want if you just don't want them, because you know that they're not really copper. And I had a few people comment on my previous videos like, why would I invest in something that's not even copper? At least with copper, it's like $4.60 a pound, and you still have value there. But again, this is numismatics. This is the part of this is more about the collectability in the secondary market than it actually is the composition or the face value of the things. Now these have true value. Like this one here, sold for $115, a full box, 2022-23 P Mint Lincoln Shield cents, $25 face value. Now, obviously, the one kind of like key to this is that extra V coin that you could look for. They're out there. Originally, they were dumped in New York and Pennsylvania. But people have reported finding these all up and down the U.S. on the eastern coast. So, $115. By the time you factor in the shipping, which they charge separately, which is very, very good advice here. They're doing like a flat rate medium box at $14.95, and that's baked into the listing. By the time you factor in the 13%, 13.5% fee from eBay, this individual will clear just over $100 on this box. And if you take away the $25 face value, they're going to profit about $77. All right, so that's a pretty good chunk of money, but keep in mind, you are going to have to ship this. My personal recommendation is you got to double box these things because they're so damn heavy. Here's another one right here. This one's sold on today, the 20th. Another 2023 Lincoln Cent box, $25 face value. This one sold straight up for $120. They did charge $11.07 for shipping, but they're doing USPS ground advantage. I think the weight of this probably exceeds the ground advantage requirements. I don't know. But this one, ladies and gentlemen, is from New York. Probably the best opportunity, bless you by the way, babe, the best opportunity to find those extra V coins if that's what you're looking for. Here's another box, 2023, this time a Denver box. And, they actually had to open this one up. This is not a what they call NF String and Sons, which is this type of box with the holes on them, where you don't even have to open the bottom to access the coins. You can see it right through the holes. This particular one might be like a Loomis box where they do have to open it up because it doesn't have any whatchamacallits, these holes on there, the breather holes, because boy, we gotta keep these things breathing. So this particular box sold for $145.75. They have since sold 2 out of the 4 boxes that they've had. So, and of course they're charging free USPS shipping. So this one right here, off of this amount of money, the $145.75, we got to take off shipping. So we'll take off $15. So we're at $130, and then you got to take off eBay's fees, which is going to be around $20. So they're going to profit somewhere in the neighborhood of $80 to $85 on this particular box right here. But that's Denver. The Denver coins really don't have a whole lot to look for other than maybe some mid-airs, some strike-throughs, things like that. But, these are selling not because of the potential of what you could find in here. These are selling for a completely different reason. And that these are simply just kind of like a poor man's equity holding. You buy these, you put them in a garage, you put them in a safe. They're not exactly portable. They have a lot of heft to them. So you got to be careful where you're storing these because if you're storing a whole bunch of boxes, say, in your closet, it actually could do structural damage to your foundation or your floor. I've actually seen it and I've heard about it. So it's nothing that, it's not like storing 1 ounce of gold. It's not. But if you have a small amount of money to play with for an investment purpose, some people are gravitating toward these. And with the news, again, of the possible kind of so long Lincoln cent, I mean, these things could be kind of crazy. And until we get that final word, because I don't think it's definitive, there still needs to be a lot of things going on and a lot of things put into play before we could say officially goodbye to the Lincoln cent. These things are going to go apeshit. They're going to be selling probably 8 to 12 times face value the moment the news hits, and then the further that we get away from the last production of any Lincoln cents, these are going to be worth a whole lot more money. And that's why we call them sealed equity, is that, the further that we distance ourselves away from a release of a product, people get nostalgic about it. They're going to want them. And that in turns increases the overall value of these things. I bet you're willing to kind of figure out what 2024 Lincoln cents are. If you can't find 2025, which are few and far between, 2024 is your next bet. And if you guys find 2024 Lincoln cents, you guys are in for a surprise. These things are like literal gold. Here's a box that ended, I believe, on the 18th, 17th or 18th. Let's see. No, 19th. This one right here. Items sold Wednesday, February 19th at 5 p.m. This one right here, 2024 P Lincoln cent box. Of course, they had to open this one up too. Sold for $224.50. 9 bids, and they did charge $14 for shipping. Man, that's a pretty rich amount of money. And, looking at some of these rolls, they don't look too crazy. A few of them have the crimps have kind of come undone on a few of these. So this one right here, not the most attractive looking sealed box that you could invest in. But it did sell. And it sold for more money than you and I can totally imagine. Because 6 months ago, long time ago, 6 months ago, right after last summer, these things got down to $50-$60 for a full bank box of 2024s. So again, it's crazy how a little piece of news could just turn everything upside down. I got a few more here for you. These will drive you absolutely up the wall. It's going to make you want to go to the bank tomorrow. Here's one that sold Thursday, February 20. That's actually today, 2:46 p.m. this afternoon. Get this. $345 for a full bank box. And this one is the NF String & Sons full sealed box. This one here, this person had sold 3 of them at $345. Considering that the original cost was $25 and a few teaspoons of gasoline in their car. And guess what? They turned that $75 into over $1,000. Again, it's crazy, I know. $1,035 is what their gross is off of 3 boxes. Are you absolutely kidding me right now? I'm telling you, you guys need some extra money. There's no better time to strike right now. Because I could kind of see in my crystal ball that, as time goes on here in 2025, with no real answers about what's happening with the production of Lincoln cents, I have a feeling that these things are going to get even more crazier, and there's just not going to be that many available at the banks. And then the final one here, we've showed you a few P-Mint boxes. How about a Denver Mint box? This one sold today, this morning, as a matter of fact, at 7:16 a.m. $375. $375 for a full bank box. 2024 Denver, $25 face value. They say it couldn't be done. Ladies and gentlemen, this seems like just absolutely insane amount of money. But I'm telling you, this is again, some people are just living in the fear, living in the moment of, what could or could not be, and it either would work out or it's not going to. Look at this. They even charged $16 shipping. So theoretically, the cost to own this box is over $390. $390. And ladies and gentlemen, we are not even talking about 2025 coins, where the individual rolls, as of right now, are selling between $150 and $200. Can you imagine grabbing a full bank box of 2025 coins? I'm telling you, it's absolutely insane. And those coins, it's anybody's guess where those things will end up. If this is truly it, and production's going to be an all-time low for 2025, I don't know. Just remember that we had this conversation not once, not twice, not thrice, but 4 times. 4 times we've had this conversation ever since President Trump made the announcement that he wants to stop the production of Lincoln Cent because it's way too damn expensive to produce. And there you go. That's where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. So before you toss these back, hold on to your hats and sell these. Take the quick flip, make your $100, make your $250, head for the hills, don't look back. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is not financial advice. I'm just telling you because the proof is right here and sitting in front of us. Just go ahead and do it. I won't tell anybody, I promise. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Thank you guys for tuning in. Whew. What a time to be alive. A lot of crazy shit happening with our money. And, if the discontinuation of the star note is any indication, the end of the penny could really, turn stuff upside down. And it's happening right now, right under our noses. Take advantage of it while you can. Strike that iron, baby. It is hot and blistering white, fire and brimstone. I will see you guys later. Best of luck in your hunts, and I'll see you.